Hi, friends. Thank you for joining us on Fitness Friday. My name is Neil Chandy, and this is a program out of Christ Episcopal Church for Food for Thought Fitness Fridays. And we thank you for being with us. If you are with us today, tell us that you're with us. Let us know in the comment section that you're here, and also if there's anything that you'd like to tell us about, whether this is a good program, or if it's engaging, or if there's something else that you'd like to see or hear here on Fitness Friday. This is a day in which we are concentrating on just renewing ourselves with fitness. And so today we have, of course, our own Patrick Wyllie. Patrick is a distance endurance runner, and he's been in our program several times before. And today we're going to talk about plateaus, how we deal with plateaus. You know, when you are working really hard and you don't see any kind of gains or losses in terms of weight, or gains in terms of fitness capacity. So, what do you do? And so we'll talk to Patrick about this. Ben, would you please bring Patrick on? Hi, Patrick. How are you?
Good. How are you, Father Sunil? Nice to see you.
Oh, I'm doing great. It's always great to see you, and you always look so happy and joyful. And are you standing, by the way? Are you standing?
I am standing. I mean, first of all, I'm always joyful when I get to come on for Fitness Fridays. I feel like I'm the unofficial fitness correspondent of Christ Church.
You are. You are.
But yeah, no, I'm up at a standing desk right now. That's I don't sit down at all unless I'm eating lunch.
Yeah, I have the same feeling. I like standing, and I have my laptop in front of me, and I'm standing on this desk, and it's great.
Yeah, no, believe it or not, it's actually great for your recovery if you're working out, and it helps the blood flow a little bit better. So I like it.
Wow, that's interesting. That's good. That's good. So tell me, I mean, you're an endurance runner. You've done marathons. You do, and you love it. But invariably there are times where we all hit plateaus, right? We're whether it's running, we can't seem to get our speed up, maybe, or if it's if for a person like me, it might be weight. I'm checking the scale, and I'm working really hard. I'm trying to watch my diet, all of these things, and then it does something happens where the weight doesn't seem to come off. And so how do you deal with that? Because it's a mental kind of issue along with a physical issue, right?
No, it definitely is mental, and there's a physical component to it as well. For somebody like yourself who's maybe putting in the work and is not seeing that number on the scale drop like you want it to, it's not always necessarily a bad thing, because you're working out, you're pumping iron, and you're building muscle. Well, yeah, that's it. Yep. Muscle weighs more than fat, so it is possible that you could even gain weight or maintain your weight while you're working out and not see that number on the scale drop to what you want. But you have to think of it as, how do you feel? You can't always go by the number on the scale. It's not even always a good idea to weigh yourself all the time too, especially for the mental component. I mean, I grew up as a wrestler in high school. So I was a slave to the scale, and that can cause a lot of anxiety. And if you're always fixated on the number, you cause so much unnecessary stress that you're putting your body through, that could actually prevent you from your goal, right? So I would say focus on how you feel first and foremost. For somebody like me who's, I'm training, right now I'm training for the Boston Marathon, and I'm at a bit of a plateau. I have some shin splints. So for me, in my case, I'm not looking at scales and things like that, but for me, I need to physically take a rest. So my choice is to switch to low impact workouts this week, such as biking, swimming, just to keep me off of my feet. But those two are separate. So there's the mental component and the physical component. And what I do is different than somebody who's trying to better themselves, and lose a couple of pounds. So I would say just focus on how you feel first and foremost.
Yeah, no, and and I appreciate that. I think it's great advice. I mean, just and not worry so much about the scale, but to enjoy the activity for itself. I think Jason Stevenson, who's my personal the trainer that we have on this program, also says that it's about journey before destination. The journey, the doing of the exercise should be joyful, hopeful, and encourages you to be have a positive attitude. And so, like that's a really great advice. I think. Thank you for that about concentrating on the way we feel. I also think that also like that second piece of advice about getting rest in some way. I mean,
Yeah, rest is super important. Depending on what article you read, if you Google, proper rest for workout programs, some people suggest every 8 weeks, every 12 weeks, you take a full week off. For me, I usually take a week off after a big race. So if I'm doing a marathon, I'll take a week off after that. But if you're just in a workout program, working out an hour a day, whatever it is, every few months, I would recommend taking a full week off. One, to let your body recover, and two, to give yourself some mental freedom, to not have to worry about the regimen so much. And you'll find that when you come back a week later, you're going to be rejuvenated and refreshed and ready to go. And mentally, at least for me personally, if I take a week off, I freak out. Like this week for me is tough mentally because I know I'm not doing what I in my head need to be doing. But if you can get over that mental hurdle, you're not going to lose muscle. You're not going to lose speed in a week. You're not going to lose your gains in a week. So taking a week off can actually be very beneficial physically because you're going to be recharged, and mentally as well.
yeah, I can imagine. I mean, you'd feel like you want to get back on the saddle, as it were, or you want to just start, and you feel energized to do something. I know, like and sometimes this isn't planned, right? Like you get busy. For me, busy day one, two, and then all of a sudden you have services, and then work, and then finally you find out like 5 days later you're not working out, and you feel real guilty, and then you come back and feel I got to do this. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a power behind that. I get that too.
Yeah, well, that guilt is actually a little bit of a good thing depending on how you look at it, right? Because that means you've developed the habit to the point where you do feel guilty if you miss that workout or that routine. And you shouldn't beat yourself up over it, but get right back on the saddle and start again next week. Next week's a new week.
Yeah, definitely. I think these are good pieces of advice. Thank you, Patrick, for this.
Sure.
I was thinking also about like the scale a little bit, and sometimes also how I eat is also affects me. Like the night before, if I eat a heavy meal with a lot of salt, there's also this idea that the salt gathers the weight in terms of the water and all that stuff. And it all plays on each other. And I guess part of the thing is balance too, maybe. Or what do you think?
You definitely need balance. So if you're, and again, I'm not a nutritionist, but
Yeah.
I've experimented with various diets over the years. And one, I think it's all about finding what works for you and your body, and then sticking with that, because every person's body is different. So not everyone is going to do well on a keto diet, and not everyone is going to do well on a vegan diet. It's again, finding what works for you. And I think the word balance is key. I've tried all these different types of diets. I've tried vegan, I've done vegetarian, I've done, keto, I've done all of these different things. And what I found is taking little bits from each of these and incorporating that into my own diet has helped. And again, it's all about the balance, right? So I'm not restricting myself to any one particular diet. If you are on a diet, have a cheat day, right? The coveted cheat day. Maybe it's Sunday, maybe it's Saturday, whatever that is. But your nutrition, I would say, is paramount. I mean, it's probably the most important aspect of fitness. I do triathlons, and in triathlon, there's 3 sports, but really there's 4, the 4th sport being nutrition. So what you put into your body is going to affect your mood and how you feel again the day after. So don't restrict yourself to the point where you're becoming a crazy person, but it is important to be cognizant of what you're putting into your body and making sure that you're, not eating as processed as maybe you have in the past. I try to stay away from processed foods as much as I can, but I still have some chips every now and then. You know what I mean? Like you got to have a reward system.
Yeah, no, I think this is great. That's good advice. Oh, well, I think like both of these pieces of advice, the idea about taking some rest in between, and then also the first piece, which was kind of like to assess whether, I mean, not be concerned about the scale and not be concerned about you know um, the number that comes out there. I think those are very good advice, and I'm hoping that people use it to kind of continue to have a positive effect of exercise.
Absolutely. It's all about how we feel. So if we're making strides and we feel good about that, and that's all that matters, really.
Amen. Well, Patrick, thank you for being with us. This is of course, a very short segment, but your wisdom is always good and appreciated.
Well, thanks for having me. Looking forward to doing it again.
All right, and I'm looking forward to seeing you seeing a clip of the Boston Marathon when you run it.
April 18th, we're coming.
All right, sounds good.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Patrick Wyllie, a wonderful man who has some great advice for us. So at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing is, even as we face these plateaus, as we started this regimen of working out, just to keep at it and of course, learn the insights that we need to make it work for us. And so if you need to have more rest, take more rest. If you and for me, the idea is like not to concentrate just on the scale, because I know I'm exercising, I am gaining some muscle, I'm feeling my body capacity to do more is increasing, or that capacity is increasing, and so it's going to affect the overall body's composition, but it may not come out in the first over a course of a week that I see like massive losses or anything. But I keep plugging away. And so maybe that might be it. Keep plugging away and keep doing what you need to do, and not be so hard on yourself or ourselves. Anyway, thank you for being with us. If you have any other comments or suggestions, please put it in the comment section. And so let's end with our time with a prayer, the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen. Friends, go in peace to love and serve God. Spread the light of Christ and joy to the world around you. The world needs it right now.
Thanks for watching. Did you know that you can join Christ Church from anywhere in the world? If you're feeling connected to what we're doing, email us today at communicate@christchurchwesterly.org.